So Elizabeth, we were talking, you've done so many things just recently for us. We actually had Elizabeth on our GMTSS call to talk about what she calls her 13 to 33 second commercial. We're going to get to that towards the end of tonight because that's what's meant for in front of the room. But first you have to build your story, right, Elizabeth? You have to build a story so you can
Yep,
have conversations with people. So
exactly.
can you talk
And
about what that is?
yeah, I mean, your story is, why you got into this business, why you chose this plan. Um, what challenges that you may have had to overcome because that's what you want to express in your story is you want to overcome any challenge and it's starting to rain, believe it or not.
No
So
way.
I got to go in my car. Um, you want to you want to put all the challenges that you had to overcome in your story because people are faced with challenges every day and you want to hold on a second guys, sorry.
That's all right. I'm just going to explain to them what's going on. She's at her
Oh,
new house and they don't have internet in the house. So she's sitting outside to do this call. You want to talk about people who overcome challenges? She eats
yeah,
challenges for breakfast every day.
yeah, well, it's I wanted to do it because when somebody asked me to do something I just want to do it. Um, but your story is really important and you got to build your story, whether it's success from the products, success from retailing, success from the business, um, things, the reasons why you even looked at the business. Maybe, like with me, I was very skeptical. And I tell people that right up front so that they don't think it's an MLM. I'll say I thought it was a multi-level marketing company. And, much to my surprise, when I looked at it just to help out a friend, I realized that this was different. I'm having a conversation. I'm telling them like how I felt because those people are feeling the same thing. Now, you're not going to have the same story as me, but, whether it's, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was always looking for a better way, or even, I know that multiple streams of income is so important, especially in this day and age. Our economic environment is so crazy. You have to, if you're not in control, you know, of your own life, and no one's gonna, you know, you got to be in control of your own life. So you have to have those multiple income streams. Whatever that story is, you got to build a story based on why you chose to do the business and what you think they're thinking. Like whether it's, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money. I mean, I was ready to cancel a $30 Warner cable bill a month, $30 a month. I was getting ready to cancel when I bumped into this business when somebody asked me to evaluate it. And the more you can make a connection or, um, get them to feel like you're no different than they are, you have the same challenges. Everybody has challenges, let's face it. Whether it's time, whether it's money, whether it's you've been involved in a bunch of companies, whether it's you're shy, whether it's, if you're shy, talk about how, it brought you out of your comfort zone and, the personal development, that you got from the business, whatever that story is, you've got to have your own story and share it with others because that's what makes you you. That's what makes you authentic. You can't be somebody else. You are you. And uh, people are going to relate to that. I think the authenticity, being sincere, is probably the most important thing, and just having a conversation or just starting one and waiting for the answer. And then, you know, volleying back and forth where you're telling your story, but not all at once. Like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, Elizabeth, can you give like I think that's so important. I think that's a point that people don't really understand how to develop that volley Could you just expand and maybe give some examples? We have some people on here that could give some examples as well. But if you could give some examples from yourself or your own teammates or what have you that you've heard over the years.
Yeah. I mean, you could start out with, how people are looking for multiple streams of income. You could start out like that. Or, I mean, everybody's shopping online. You can, I realize that a lot of people, most people shop online, and I wanted to get into a business where I had an online presence because that's where the future is. Everybody's shopping online, and your story could start out like that. It's like any one of the themes that you kind of mush into your own story,
Gosh,
right?
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, whatever that may be, but it's so important to have, we call it a 2-minute commercial, a 30-second commercial, a 13 to 33-second commercial. All that is your story and how it brings you out, you know, as a person that was first looking at it, you can make that connection. That's really important because people are looking at it going, oh, I don't know if this is for me, or I don't know if I'm going to have time, or, oh, am I going to invest this money? If you tell them how you felt, they're going to be more open with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, but the sincerity of it is probably the most important. And then, of course, being excited about what you got because it's all about the energy you give off. And if you're not excited, they're not going to get excited. And, you know, we have a lot to be excited for. I mean, we're with a company that is ahead of the times, you know, way ahead of the times. You're with a company that has 31 years of, bringing in new products. I mean, Cheryl, I mean, Dr. Duchess, you can, that's why we're still in business. We've got a great solid company with great solid products with an awesome compensation plan. If everybody just did what they were supposed to, this compensation plan would work like wildfire.
Mhm.
The thing is, people take the path of least resistance, and it's almost like you search out the people that really want it and are willing to do what it takes, like you guys all are. You wouldn't be on here tonight if you weren't, you know?
Mhm.
But we have to teach everybody and we have to go over there. In the getting started guide, part of the homework is your 2-minute commercial. That's the first thing I go over with people is their commercial. And we role play. And we'll cut it down from 2 minutes to 30 seconds to 13 seconds, to talk about the most important things I feel, where you can actually connect with somebody. It's all about making a connection. And that's where you connect. And so if people aren't trained on, or going over their stories with their senior business partners and they get up in front of the room, I mean, they're so important during that 30 seconds. What they have to say is so critical. And it's more important than the plan because it's what people remember. So it's critical that you make sure you give your background and why, your reasons why um, you chose this business, or what it's done for you. It's as simple as that. I could do it in 10 seconds, It's so important,
I think
I don't mean to get off on a tangent, but
you're not, Elizabeth. I think that also the fact that we had the whole Zooming pandemic situation, and now we're getting back to what we used to know and how to do it. I think we have lost some of that skill set. And that's why we're doing tonight. That's why we asked you to come on here, because you're a pro at this.